So I'm reading through some of the comments on these silly little casino videos I've been making, and it turns out it's not just people who take classes with me in North Carolina who are the ones watching, which is bonkers, but people are writing in from like Italy and the UK and Spain, and there's one question in particular that allows me to do my favorite thing, which is pontificate, so here we go. Love these videos, you are a literal superhero. Alright, well that's not pertinent, so I'll be sure to edit that out later. The whole notion of bringing the follower to the right is something I've never been taught. It doesn't have a name in Spanish. So we'll go over why you've probably never been taught it before. It does have a name in Spanish. It was coined by this guy who goes around fighting people over music and dance, so I've just avoided using it, but I like fighting people, so he calls it entrada. All my casino instructors have taught doing DILE QUE NO and pretty much all other moves from a regular basic where you're facing each other, also ending facing each other, and not ending side by side facing the same direction or each other at 45 degrees. I've always felt this to be wrong. Would love if you could comment on it. Well, careful what you wish for. So the long and short of it is that casino is difficult to teach. And when you're in front of a room full of beginners, teaching the steps the way that they're supposed to be danced, where you're stepping underneath your center and moving forward and keeping frame, or just flattening out the turns and kind of putting them into a slot, that way is just easier, and a lot of instructors will opt to go that route. But if you take a turn sequence like Adios con la hermana, where it starts off with a basic, and you've got part of an adios, some enchufa turns, and then DILE QUE NO. If you squish that into a slot and put in some backstepping and do kind of an exaggerated bad version of it, that's how it kind of tends to be taught a lot of the time. And as a result, casino doesn't get a lot of the respect it deserves because people aren't seeing the best version of it. Since the question was asked specifically about DILE QUE NO, we can take a look at that one as a good example. There is a position where the follower is on the lead's right. DILE QUE NO starts with the follower on the lead's right always. So as the lead, we've got a couple options. We can bring the follower to our right, or we can kind of step across her and also give her a pivot, but she's always starting from the lead's right for DILE QUE NO. That's the important part. My first thing that I'll do is paso son, bring the follower to the right, and then DILE QUE NO, just to give an idea of how the dance works. From there, when we start doing turns, whether it's enchufa, vacila, any of that stuff, the lead is usually going to resolve those turns at first by bringing the follower to the right. So taking her to the right straight out the gate is good practice for those steps. This question is really the reason I started making videos in the first place, where students were asking me, are there any videos of these turns, or how do you do vacila, or what if I forget the footwork for enchufa, and can I go on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, probably. And so I went on YouTube, and dear God, the ratio of bad stuff that you'll find before you find a decent video really explaining. So what I think I'll do is make videos of a lot of the common turns, but also include a counterexample of the watered down version that can often be taught and why it's not great. But in the meantime, more than a few people have reached out and said that they've been getting something out of the videos and that they're enjoying them, and that's just awesome. I'm really happy that people care about casino enough to even watch these in the first place. And if you have any questions, I love feeling important, like I can answer questions. I've had a lot of great teachers and put a lot of time into it. So if there's anything I can do, please write it in the comments. Until next time.